Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everybody. I'm Preacher Mars, host of the S.O.S and ShOUT show. Here we are, brothers, our last show of 2021. Brothers and sisters, let me do that. You know, the title is not my title. The title it was generously offered by Sister Satana, which was, New Year, New You. I know we always say Happy New Year and things like that, and people go through the same rigmarole. We get together, we party, or whatever. We get together with our friends and family. We watch the ball drop in New York City. Some of us actually watch it. People like me are normally in the bed by like 10, 15. I just trust that we'll make it to the new year. That's the way I am, brothers sisters. But, I like the title that Sister Satana brought up, which was New Year, New You. And the fundamental idea is, what did you learn? What did you learn? This is our second year of literally being in COVID, our second New Year. What did you learn? Because, I've turned 55 this year, and I have to say that in reflecting on a lot of things, and we'll talk about some of the current event stuff that went on. JT actually gave me a text, a really good text about, talking about what some of the highlights were, what some of the lowlights were. But fundamentally, it comes down to what did you learn? And it really brings to mind a story I'm going to share with you guys once we come back from the break. And it really is about how people affected you. How people affected you, how people left their mark on you. I constantly go through this space where I don't necessarily look at who left, but it's more so who left a mark. Who said something, who remarked a particular way that made some kind of imprint on my heart, or how I think, or even changed, alhamdulillah, how I think, and in so many words without being long-winded, going into 2022, we do find ourselves with different measuring sticks in terms of our quality of life. A lot of us found out that it wasn't about the job. A lot of us found out that it wasn't about having a whole lot of money. A lot of us found out it wasn't about your connections and your networks, about how popular you were, things like that. It was, in many regards, about life. How are you reframing life in a situation that was life altering? Not only talking about the pandemic, we're talking about the economic fallout, talking about elections, talking about coups, we're talking about trends, we're talking about how we move from Facebook to TikTok. Literally, brothers and sisters, things that somehow either compromise, adapt, or corrupt our quality of life. So for this show, brothers and sisters, because you see the 20, let me move out of the way there. You see the, I feel like the weatherman. You see the 2022 situation. I literally am sitting around, and I'm going to tell you how my 2022 is going to end, brothers and sisters. I like to do it a day early. I don't do New Year's. I'm going to sit down with a good meal, a good salad from probably Chick-fil-A, and I'm going to rewind. I'm going to rewind a lot of things that happen in my mind, and I'm going to self-evaluate. I'm going to be self-critical about some of the things I said here on the show, some of the things I said on stage, because as much as I talk about how people affected me, I have to look at how I affected other people. And when I say this, it comes from a really, really, it was a student of mine, and I'll talk about him, but he said something to me a couple years ago. Not years ago, I mean, it was many years ago when I was still teaching in the classroom. And for a moment, it really made me reevaluate this whole idea of being, this whole idea of existence. And I know we have our responsibilities. We got our husbands, our wives, our children, our parents, our jobs, our co-workers. We have all these things. But this young man said something to me that totally reframed existence. And it was profound. Profound, number one, for what he said. But number two, that it was coming from a child. And a child, basically a fifth grader. Actually he was a fourth grader. Fourth grader reminded me about the things, if you will, I want to say the synapses in life that sometimes we overlook. We overlook them so much that we don't realize that they're there. So for today, brothers and sisters, we're going to talk about 2022. And I would encourage everybody to get into the comment section, share your thoughts. And I know it's gonna be might be some crazy people to jump on there. Crazy people you can jump on, but mind you, Sister Satana controls the comment section, so you could get vamoose. That's the way it goes. But we're gonna talk about 2022. And I'm gonna lend this story. I'm actually doing this. I'm actually gonna do this for my Friday reminder. For those that get the Friday reminder, you're gonna get the extended version today. But I want everybody to stick close. This is 2021 heading into 2022. What are we talking about, brothers and sisters? You know what we're talking about. New year, new you. Let's get to it. The Shout Out Show. All right, we're back, everybody. Listen, I want to give a shout out. One of our shout out show family members, our dear family member, Sister Eleanor Davis is not feeling well today. Make sure we get our duas and prayers to her. Sister Eleanor, we're sending you healing. I feel like a Baptist. We're sending you healing. We want you to get better. Yes, we do. And shout out to Aunt Shirley. I know you're on the mend. God bless you. I'll give you a call this weekend. If any of you have any relatives that are going through something physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, give us a call. You know, this is the space. You know, I want to dedicate this space going into 2022 as a place where we recognize that people have challenges, whether it be health, whether it be finances. I want this to be a little bit more of a platform where we talk about that. Now, I want to give a shout out to my friend. I love you, brother. I know we had this conversation. I know it was a little bit of a debate. But I just want to say, brothers and sisters, a lot of people go, "Hey, preach, you do the shout out show, but you're not telling jokes." Well, I'm going to tell you something about telling jokes. I tell jokes because that lends levity to a lot of the stuff that I see. Joke is the code words or the code framing, if you will, for some of the things I've seen that have not been funny, that have not been amusing. You know, the joke, or the purpose of the joke is to kind of bring it into awareness. And while we have that laugh and it gives us levity, it's not meant for us to take away from the seriousness of the things that we see. And so the Shout Out Show will continue to be what it is, and we're going to have laughs. Why? Because comedy is my language. I can't sometimes tell you guys a straightforward story because humor is my language. Some things are just funny to me. They might not be funny to you, but they're funny to me. And I believe that in 2022, I do want us to have a little bit more of a humorous tone in terms of us understanding life. Okay? Us understanding life and appreciating life. Because that's the best comedy, brothers and sisters. When you have a group of people in a room or in a hall or a comedy club, and they're laughing because they appreciate life. And that's the job of the entertainer. That's the job of the preacher. That's the job of the imam. Of everything that you're going through, the idea of that person speaking to you is to emphasize that life is worth living. Okay, so let's get into our comment section. Let's get into our shout out show family. Sister Tana. Okay, we got Sister Ree. Sister Ree, how you doing? Thank you so much again for that Christmas dinner. That turkey was banging, with a capital banging. I appreciate you. And the macaroni cheese was kind of jealous because the turkey was gone before the cheese even got cold. All right. So I appreciate you. Shout out to Derek and shout out to Brother Juwan. We appreciate you guys. Appreciate you for being a valued member of the Shout Out Show family. You've been here all year. Can you believe, brothers and sisters, we're already heading into 2022? That's life. All right, next up, we got my brother JT, better known to you as Johnny L. Thomas, to me, JT. Hey, thank you so much for coming on the show. Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister Satan and you were thinking the same thing about this, and I appreciate it. because it means I didn't have to sit up here twiddling my thumbs trying to come up with the show. I was like, oh, they already got the concept. I just need to be adept and capable of filling in the blanks. And I know we're going to get there. We might go a little bit longer today, brothers and sisters. Why? Because this is the last show of 2021. And we'll be back on, of course, the first Monday of 2022. But I'm just telling you guys, that's what it is. All right, next up, who we got? Altaf Soldier, Mr. 6 o'clock, straight up, straight down, all the way from Toronto, Canada. Our main man, our Canadian ambassador to the show. Wa'alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Altaf, you made another year, brother. You, Sister Satana, JT. I mean, we got people who just been around from the inception of this thing from 2020, and I appreciate all of you. All right, next up. Bilal Salahuddin, my brother, black man. Yes, young soldier. What's going on, man? Wa'alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And shout out to you and the Salahuddin family, brother. We appreciate you coming on and spending some time with us. We appreciate you. Shout out Sister Sonia Salahuddin as well. Sister Sonia Salahuddin Dalton. There you go. Thank you so much. If she's in the house, then she's been mentioned. Next shout out. Oh my goodness. What's going on? Wa'alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the show. How you doing? I appreciate you giving us some love and some attention. Shiraz, thank you so much for coming on, man. And we hope that this is a regular thing for you. My platform is really your platform. I tell everybody I'm the host, but you guys make the show. So thank you so much for joining us for this early 2022 edition of the S.O.S. All right, next up. We hope next year will be a better one for all of us. Inshallah. Yes, indeed. I believe, hey man, I'm like the old dudes. I'm happy to be on this side of the dirt. And if I woke up, it's a good day. So I keep it simple. Allah's God, keep it simple. So thank you so much for coming on. And we hope that you're going to have a prosperous and a productive 2022. All right. What you say now? Healing prayers, get better from Miss Eleanor. There you go. We got to throw that out there. New Year's Day will be available. That's my menu, brothers and sisters. Y'all, look, she's talking to me. She ain't talking to y'all. I'm a giver. I share. But when it comes to that, read, you got to tell them. You got to say, preach, this is your dinner. Because you're going to have some people. You don't want all top coming up, breaking immigration rules at your front door trying to get some food. All right. And, of course, we got Mama Son. What's going on, Mama Son? Already with the Happy New Year. You are early, but we're going to take it. If anyone wants to say Happy New Year on the SOS, it's cool because we won't be on Friday. You know how that goes. So we appreciate you. Mom, thank you so much for coming on. And I have to give you a shout out, Mom. You have gotten much better at putting up your comments and the technology piece. Because, for a long time, behind your back and in front of your face, we laughed a lot of times when you tried to work that technology. If I was not Muslim, I'd have been a better man and probably would have been rich by now. Trying to figure out if Mom can log on at $25 a pop. We love you. Thank you so much. I'm giving you a hard time. And, of course, we got Sister Satana, our consultant producer, here on the show. What's up, Sister Satana? Sister Satana is branching out on the career space. We appreciate you. We hope, I made the wire for you actually this morning, that everything went right with that. We hope that you're going to get it in there and people realize that. And Sister Tana is no joke. So if anybody's out there looking for a talented individual, a CEO type, you got to take a good look at Sister Tana. All right. So let's talk about this. What did it say? Cropped layout press shift. Okay, something's wrong with my computer, or I'm not sure. But let's talk about New Year, New You. I'll start with this story when I taught. It was like 1993. I taught, for those who don't know, or those who need to be reminded, when I was in education, I taught severely emotionally disturbed children. Severely emotionally disturbed children, a lot of them had learning disabilities, a lot of them have behavioral issues, a lot of them at the point in time back then had a lot of, significant or severe mental health issues. And the public school system, lacking the wisdom that they have, will put them all in one room, and they get people like me to come in and teach. That's not the point. There was one student in my classroom. His name was John Crewalt. John was autistic, and and shout out for a lot of people, parents who deal with children with autism. It's not an easy thing. That love is a real love. I've seen it. I have a couple of close friends whose children are autistic. John was a good kid. Always did his work. Happy-go-lucky kid, always willing to help. And this one day I came in, he was on a bender. He was very irritable. He was very upset. Really couldn't talk to him. You know, the anxiety of the autism was really in his space, and you know, he's very upset, for lack of a better word. And it got to the point where it was physical. He was throwing things around the room. This is a John I never seen before. I'm like, what is going on with this? This is one of my best students. I count on him, you know? And he was having an episode. And one thing we don't like to do when we teach special ed, we don't like to restrain kids. But as part of the job, you may have to restrain a kid to, you know, keep them from hurting themselves. Others, this was one of those cases. So I took John to the back room, the coat room, to kind of restrain him, and I didn't really want to. I didn't want to. And I asked John, I said, what is going on? I don't know what made me think about just asking the question. I asked him what was going on, and he said something to me that was shocking. I said, why are you having a bad day, John? What is going on? And someone in John's family did a very cruel thing to him. Someone in John's family told John that God had taken away his angels. He said God had taken away his angels. Someone in his family circle of influence, had told John that God had taken away his angels. And I said, what does that mean to you, John? He said, it means, Mr. Moss, that I don't have wings. And I was, of course, stupefied. I'm stunned. I'm talking to this young autistic kid. He's talking about God. I'm thinking about getting ready to restrain this kid. And sheer luck, inspiration. I said, John, don't worry about it. I can help. He said, what do you mean? He said, I have extra wings that I can give you. And he looked at me, he goes, really? Now, you know, most kids would be like, Mr. Moss on sipping syrup. But the rest of the class was quiet and they were listening. I said, John, I have extra wings that I can give you. Relax. And he walked out of the coat room like nothing had happened. And the young man he said, Mr. Moss is going to give me some extra wings. And the rest of the class said, hey, John, I got extra wings too. And everybody would reach on their back and they would throw wings at him like this. Not chicken wings. I know some of y'all want chicken wings. No. But they would throw wings to him. And I watched John catch the wings and put him here. Catch the wings and put him here. Catch the wings, put him on his back. And he was fine the rest of the day. Now, my point is, through all the things we have gone through in 2021, one of the most diabolical things, as I think about John, is that people, situations, have presented themselves to crush our wings. We have people who have crushed wings, damaged wings, people like John who realize they don't have any wings, and that could be a metaphor for hope, understanding, love, compassion, mercy. It could be all of those things. But we live in a space right now, brothers and sisters, where people find that it's okay to crush other people's wings. And so for a new day, new you, I'm going to offer that when we see people who we think have crushed or broken wings or no wing at all, we reach out and we tell them, don't worry, I got wings for you. Oh, you know what? Here's some wings that probably fit you. Hey, you know what? Keep those wings. Don't even worry about bringing them back. I'll get them back to you. Whenever you got your other wings, bring them back. And the conversation, brothers and sisters, is a tenor that I can't really appropriately verbalize because that was in 1993. That was with a child. But in 2021, many of us forgot that we have wings and that people around us have wings and that we can't let people take those things away from us. So my thing for 2022 is to recognize and remind people that you got wings. Whether it's a smile, conversation, compliment, intervention, interaction, you know what? We all have wings. So if anyone has anything they want to say about what they want to do for 2022, feel free to jump in. Because we had a lot of things happen. I, for one, I found myself not trying to make a whole lot of new friends. I did. At 55, I said, I'm not trying to go out and make new friends. I'm trying to increase the quality and the value of the friends around me. Now, I'm a comedian. I meet people, but there's a difference between a friend and a brother or a fan. Let's just be honest. But it takes that space where you have to build relationships. You have to value relationships. You got to go through some things to make sure that relationship is solid. I don't really know what's going to happen in 2022. We're talking about elections and things like that. But we're not talking about wings. We're talking about wins, but we're not talking about wings. We're not talking about how we get people to lift themselves up. The John Crewalts of the world, the Fontaine Shepherds of the world, the Jeremy Clarks of the world. If you think about it, we really had the time to somehow figure out in our own language and actions, how do you remind people they have wings? Or demonstrate. So for the rest of this time, brothers and sisters, we can run down things. COVID, I'm not mad at COVID. That'd be a lie. I'm not mad at COVID. Sickness and death has been around since the beginning of time. If somehow I believe that if I didn't get COVID, I was going to live forever, I'd be a fool. But it is a reminder that we can't wait. It's a reminder that we have to find value in the things that mean important things to us. I just got back from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Got to visit my dad. Now, brothers and sisters, I didn't call my dad to let him know I was coming. I didn't tell him to come pick me up from the airport. I took an Uber, and I took all the pride in the world in calling him from out front of his house, and he thought I was somewhere else. He thought I was home, not in front of his house. And to see when he opened the door, he still had the phone looking at me, looking at the phone, looking at me, looking at the phone. It was fun because it was the ultimate I got you. Now, if my dad said, hey, boy, I got people over, I would have had to leave, and it would have been all right. But just for that one moment, brothers and sisters, I got my dad. And you know what I saw with my dad? Is what I saw with John Crewal. I gave my dad some wings. So whatever's going to happen with Omicron and COVID, let's look at how we levitate and lift ourselves up. The low point, brothers and sisters, of 2021 was when, personally, I felt like the government and a lot of people didn't care about the kids. You know that I rail about children and education. I rail. I'm a beast, just like everybody else. Parents, grandparents, aunties, we love our babies. But I felt that the baby love had been compromised somehow, that the kids were left to watch the adults fail in a very public way, and in a very public way not take responsibility for their failure. It's okay to be wrong, but it's more important to know why you're wrong and be able to tell other people, don't do this because here are the repercussions. These are the consequences, and a real meaningful, manly in my case, and I just want to say in a spiritual way. That it's okay to reach out and tell people that you're sorry. I felt like between 2020 and 2021, brothers and sisters, I feel like it was the year of no apologizing. That nobody found space and understanding the apology, but because people just apologize, because people just ask for forgiveness, they think that it's okay. And I'm gonna say, there's plenty of people in our Muslim community and our religious community that believe when you do something wrong, all you gotta do is talk to God. Got to talk to God and ask God for your forgiveness. Well, you didn't hurt God. You didn't hurt God. You hurt people. You see, the other part is when you ask for redemption, there's a repentance. There's a thing called redemption, and you need to make whole the people that you injured. So the thing with John Crewell back in 1993, though none of those children in that classroom injured John Crewell, we didn't care because we saw someone who was injured. So who are you gonna give your wings to? Who are you gonna share your wings with? Think about that. We got Satana on the line. What's going on, Sister Satana? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Oh, wait, here's some wings for you.
Assalamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm actually going to put up some
when you getting
comments
hungry,
here.
talking about those wings, you're like, he ain't got no guts. He ain't got no mambo sauce.
No, I'm not. It's the chicken wings. But just want to give the greetings to Brother Eric, or Eric, as you call him. Why?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Eric, my main man. How you doing, beloved?
And I am cracking up over this Altaf.
What do you say? What do you say?
It's a great inspirational message. Any chance of a song performance to the end of the show? Maybe a duet with Sister Sultana. Yeah, no. You know what? We're gonna have you on this show, Altaf, and you and Preacher can do one.
Altaf, you're asking a lot, brother. You're asking a lot.
That's a lot. But
I couldn't even sing the Christmas song, but Sultana's like, no, don't sing.
Cut it.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. All right, there you go.
So I just want to say, come on and just say welcome to the community. Thank you to the community. It's been, we're wrapping up another year.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And, we're at the cusp of a new year. And so we do what we customarily do. We start to put together a list of our resolutions, a promise to ourselves to do better and to be better. And, we get like special notebooks and apps, and we create spreadsheets and do vision boards. And we have special categories of what we're going to do for the year, how we want to tackle what we want to tackle. We set milestones.
Still got those weights, Sister Satana?
Right.
Still got those weights? I'm going to start weightlifting.
It's the 30th, and I'm going to start my goals, right? Right.
Weights are there from last year.
We set milestones and end dates, right? And so we know we have all of these goals that we want to tackle. And then what do? We put the goals together, and they tell us to put it somewhere where you can actually see it daily. So you put it on your wall, you put it on your refrigerator, you put it on it's on the phone, you get daily reminders. And, Jan 1 comes and it's like, okay, we're off. And if it's January 1st falls on a Monday, we're even more awesome because for some reason we want to start like everything on a Monday. So if Jan 1 comes on a Monday, we're like, that's a special year. But we're like, we're like, runners at the beginning of a marathon, and we get that runner's high, and we start off real good at the beginning of the year, right? And then so January 15th comes, January 31st comes, February 1st. And we start to slow down. And so I think we just need to make sure that we make sure that we do have SMART goals, make sure that we don't have, and we all do it. I do it. I still have goals from 2018 that I keep just like rolling over to the next year. Right.
Shout out show was a goal from 2011.
Yeah. So, let's, and it's all about behaviors. And so we need to see like what behaviors we need to work on, right? And so maybe we need to lessen the number of goals that we usually have, because again, we have these different categories of personal assessment. There's health goals, there's financial goals, there are things, and sometimes it's so hard to work on so many goals at the same time. and maybe we need to kind of lessen it and like just be good be good at one or two goals for the year,
I
right? And
think,
then
yeah, I
30
think
days
this.
builds a habit, right? 30 days builds a habit, and so we can add to the top of that. And so maybe that's a different way of looking at how we want to approach our resolutions. And so at this time next year, we can say, okay, yeah, we've accomplished that. So that was just my little, kind of
I appreciate no.
insight
My
on how to approach it. Yeah.
my whole thing for 2022 is like I'm really really going to invest in things that bring me joy.
Right.
You know, I understand totally the goals and stuff like that. Uh, I had a good friend of mine. God bless him. He's a funny dude. He said he had a little drinking problem, but he would say at New Year's, like he said, this time next year, I'm still gonna be drunk. And
That's a
he
goal.
was good at it. And he was good at it. But I think the thing also is, take the pressure off yourself. Like,
Sure.
2021 was like a really pressure filled year, and people trying to get, here and there. And listen, understand you. Understand you. Okay? First of all, it's like, I have a friend, he's like, I'm going to lose 150 pounds. I'm like, you're going to lose your life. You're not 100. Lose 10 pounds and brag about it.
And be good
Lose
about it.
15.
Right.
I'm going to lose 150. No, you're not going to lose 150.
Right.
Well, if you do, Craig, you just look behind it. You're going to find it. Stop. Be realistic.
That's
Be
what be
realistic.
realistic in the goals. Absolutely.
Otherwise,
Absolutely.
you're not going to enjoy yourself. But
Right, right.
one
Because, like
brother
I
was.
said, it's part of behaviors, and you have to map that into your resolution and your goals. So if you're looking to like, okay, you can't say I'm gonna make $100,000 in a day, right? I can't lose 150 pounds in like a month. You have to change behaviors, right? And so that's gonna factor into it,
Hmm.
and it will. You'll have hits and misses. You'll have to readjust, and but be patient with yourself. So
It's so funny. I remember when I was trying to get into running. You know what my goal was when I was running?
mm,
People go, "How many miles?" I said, "Nah." Here's my goal when I was running. Sometimes like, try not to fall.
sure,
I was like,
yeah,
if you don't fall, you doing good.
you're good. Yeah. So as we're wrapping up, I want to hear some people in the comments. What are some of your goals? For 2022. You know, is it, some people just want to be healthy and just like stay away from COVID.
That's big. That's
That's
big.
huge.
That's
Yeah,
big.
that's huge, right?
That was a lot of people's
Yeah.
goal from last year. I don't want to get
Hmm.
COVID.
Yeah, yeah. Or so just let's. Do you want to go on? Well, I would say vacation, but I think they're kind of closing,
Yeah, exactly.
closing borders
Sorry,
and stopping
Australia. I don't think
planes,
I'm going to make it in February.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, um,
What we
your
got?
mom has one. She said, "What she say?"
Uh,
Um,
exist to improve versus
versus
exist
oh,
improve versus we done got in that typewriter again. I got it though.
I think I got it
There you go.
too.
Exist to improve as opposed improve versus merely exist.
Merely
I felt like I
existing.
was on a Soul Train scramble board.
Now go down, Michelle. Soul Train line. Go down the Soul Train line.
All right, there we go. You can only go that, but so far you're gonna knock the camera over. Like I'll be like our mams at virtual cook by, and the Lord said,
Right. Right.
"Get your
Right.
head out the camera." All right.
Right. But we do, hope that everyone is safe for 2022. We know that there are different variants, and the most dominant one out there is Omicron, not Omarion.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure
Variant.
nobody's buying his CDs. His
No.
downloads are
Well,
down.
he is making a comeback, so you never know.
I don't know,
Um,
man. Like I said, I really just appreciate, and I've noticed I appreciate, our little community is growing more, and we have more people on. When I go to the match there, and brother be like, I saw the S.O.S. That's what they do when they over 60. I saw the S.O.S. All right, brother, because they can't say shout out, show takes too much air. Uh, S.O.S. But I think what we set out to achieve was really just to be able to have this format and have a place where people could come and just be. We have a lot of topics. I was just doing some work earlier today on a project, and I was like, I really looked at, wow, we have 550, I guess, 550 shows, and I'm like, man, we've been cranking them out. But I think the reason why we don't, at least for me, I don't realize how much we do is because I'm just having fun. I'm really enjoying what I do, and I have that. I have the audience, the Shout Out Show family to thank for that. Sister Zatanna, you've been a soldier as always. Helping us muscle a lot of this stuff through. But I hope that in 2022 that we can expand the show. We can do more with what we have, our ideas, our guests. We didn't have quite as many guests on because a lot of times it was just kind of coordinating stuff. But in 2022, I think I'm gonna have some surprises for everybody, and I hope you're there for the surprises. But please, please tell your friends, tell your family about the Shout Out Show. Not so much about coming on the Shout Out Show, but just let them know. We're out there trying to put some wings out there. All right.
For sure, for sure. And again, just New Year's greetings to the community, the Shout Out Show community. I pray that, there are blessings upon blessings
Amen.
in this new
Amen.
year. And I know that some people's New Year's have started. So whether or not you do Islamic New Year or Jewish New Year, but, during this time, a lot of people do celebrate the time and actually reset during this time. So I do pray that
Absolutely.
this period of time is very fruitful for you. So, happy New Year to you.
Hey, everybody, have a happy new year. Have a safe new year. Best wishes on productivity and prosperity in 2022. And inshallah, if it's Allah's will, we will be with you through 2022. We're beginning to build here, continually building. So, listen, on behalf of myself, Sister Asana, and myself, listen, we appreciate everybody coming on the Shout Out Show. Tomorrow will be New Year's Eve. And I know you got a lot of things. Some of you be partying, some of you be with family members, some of you be at home chilling, but think about, some wings a little bit. Just a little bit.
Absolutely. Definitely. We're
And may
going to
Allah,
thank the sponsors as well.
and I'm gonna do that, and may Allah be pleased with John Crewall, who passed away a couple years ago.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's get to our sponsors. Of course, we got BeFinancialIndependent.com. Again, that's BeFinancialIndependent.com. If for some reason you're not living in this particular century, you don't have a computer or a smartphone, listen, just pick up the phone and call 202 508 3780. Again, that's 202 508 3780. Roll next time. If you're thinking about getting a quality Islamic graduate education, brothers and sisters, guess what? You don't have to look too far. We're talking about Bayan Islamic Graduate School. Again, that's Bayan Islamic Graduate School, located in Claremont, California. Brothers and sisters, an amazing institution that's just been growing by leaps and bounds with graduate programs in Islamic education, Islamic leadership, Islamic studies, as well as an incredible groundbreaking program, the Masters of Divinity with the focus in Muslim chaplaincy. You want to check that out. Go to bayanonline.org. Again, that's bayanonline.org. And we want to give a shout out also to Convenient Urgent Care, CUC, convenienturgent.com. Again, that's convenienturgent.com in the city of Houston with shops in, of course, Pasadena, Cypress, and Parker Road in the city of Houston. And we want to give a shout out to our newest family member that we, inshallah, make dua that this is a very, very powerful, powerful, powerful partnership. ushub.tv. And that's ushub.tv. A very organic, growing community of artists. It's a new streaming service, and yours truly has my opus, my comedy opus, my comedy special, but my comedy opus, which is Love Supreme and Anatomy of Gratitude, which is streaming live off of that. Go check it out, brothers and sisters. Go check that out. And I am proud to say that in a month or so, inshallah, that I will have up my NFTs All praise to the Lord. We'll have my NFTs up. I'll be talking to you, Shout Out Show family, about how that works, how to invest, how we build wealth, how we democratize this whole idea of Muslim entertainment as something that is valuable as opposed to something that should be compromised by people who don't necessarily share our views or our sensibilities. So, with that, brothers and sisters, I am out of here because I ain't got nowhere to go because this is actually the 30th, not the 31st. But you know, I'm getting a little silent, chill out. I'm watching a little Sanford and Son. I'm gonna watch Blind Melon Jelly. I want my daddy's records, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Preacher Monster Shout Out Show. God bless you. See you in 2022. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Muslim women are oppressed. That's not true. That's a lie. I married a Muslim woman. I'm oppressed. It's hard to be a Muslim comedian because you can be anything else in this community, can't you? Allah made me a doctor. Alhamdulillah. Allah made me a lawyer. MashaAllah. Allah made me funny. Astaghfirullah. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, team, we've come to the end of yet another show. And I have to say, I had a good time, and I hope that you had a good time as well. Listen, at this part of the show, we have no more show. I could literally sing a song saying we have no more show. However, to spare all of us that embarrassment and chaos, I'm just going to say, please join us tomorrow here on the Shout Out Show, Monday through Thursdays, and every first Saturday, we do our Saturday Spotlight. Here we are again, 5 to 5:30 on the Central Time. And of course, we're going to do our rebroadcast at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock p.m. And of course, that would be 6 o'clock on the West Coast. So, time for you to go because it's time for me to go. I think I will do that song. Thank you for coming to the show. Thank you for coming to the show. That's all the lyrics I wrote. But you get the idea. See you tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum.